Hey, also originally I wanted to make another Crab's Treasure Let's Play video, but instead my morning went completely how it shouldn't have. So it's been like an hour since the time of when I should have started recording, and basically what happened is I got this like bottle of like Bolthouse Farm smoothies, right? I drink them all the time because I'm like, recovering from an eating disorder still, and they're really easy calories, and basically it was strawberry banana, and I guess it sat out for too long, and I had flashbacks to all the times that I've let fruit sit out for too long before it's gotten like overripe to a point of where it like turns into alcohol basically. And yeah, so I poured a cup of this stuff and I started drinking it, and I noticed like it kind of tasted weird, and I was like, huh, it's not a big deal. So I just kept drinking it and drinking it, and then I got to the end, and then I basically just drank booze. I'm fine. I'm not like drunk or anything right now, but I am a little buzzed, and it's kind of weird, dog. This doesn't break my sobriety streak. I am not what's the word? I'm still considering myself 5-6 years sober, something like that, because this has happened before. It's not like there was actually enough like alcohol content in that to get me drunk or actually buzzed or anything, but I do have the little stomach tingles right now. My head does feel surprisingly calm, and it's really fucking weird because this is a feeling I'm not used to. It's a very weird feeling. My head is really silent right now, and I don't like it. It reminded me of why I did used to drink though, because my head would get very silent until it got very loud, and that wasn't very cool. But yeah, I'm still very sober right now. It's just it was just enough to throw off my nervous system, because basically the most that I drink is Coca-Cola. So the most that my system's used to is caffeine. So anytime that there's something that, I mean, even then actually my body reacts quite violently to caffeine nowadays. Like when I drink Coca-Cola, for example, now, like I used to be able to drink it just fine, but now every time I finish a Coke, I kind of get the jitters and my heart gets a little uneasy for a while. So that's a whole thing. But yeah, so anytime that there's anything that isn't just oxygen or water going into my body reacts in a certain way. And that's what's happening right now. It's just freaking out because it's like, whoa, what is this toxin that's not supposed to be here? And it feels a little weird. I feel a little uncomfortable. I kind of want to go make myself throw up just so then it's like out of my system. And I hate throwing up, by the way. I haven't thrown up in years because I hate throwing up. Literally, I would rather sit with the feeling of like needing to throw up rather than actually throwing up, because I hate throwing up. It makes me feel disgusting. But I don't want this shit in my body. But it's a little too late for that. It's already in my bloodstream, so even if I would, it's too late. So I'm sitting here with the water. I'm gonna eat some food here soon to hopefully help soak it up, because that was my thing back in the day too. Anytime I had alcohol in my system, you eat a bunch of peanuts and bread, bro. That was it. Honey roasted Planters peanuts, put some cashews in there, eat a bunch of bread and pizza, you'll be fine. Get some protein in you, get like a cheeseburger or something. And yeah, so that's how my morning's going. Hopefully everybody else is having a better morning, day, night, whenever you're watching this. So yeah, I basically just got molested by alcohol, or like molested by fruit rather, because I didn't consent to drinking booze, but here I am. I technically drank a little bit of strawberry banana booze, which is kind of fucking crazy. Anyway, here's cat ears. Y'all want to know what I spent my morning doing today? I literally, okay, so there's a lot of people that obviously have like a huge thing against AI. They're like, oh, AI is terrible, this, that, and the other. But I think AI is cool if you're just using it for like fun purposes that aren't harmful to anybody or manipulative to anybody else. Like if you're just generating funny images and like videos and stuff like that. And that's what I did. I signed up for a trial of like Google Gemini, and I literally was just like messing around and just like making all these like freaking like cool like pictures and videos and stuff. And I had it make like my dream like anime, what do you want to call it? Not waifu. We're not talking about waifus right now, though I should have it do that next. I think that would be a fun project. My dream anime waifu, maybe make a couple videos of it. I think that would be amazing. But no, instead I had it just make like, I don't know, like one of those like anime idol looking things, and it was pretty freaking cool, man. I did that, and then I don't know, it's just, I just realized that I accidentally bumped my microphone, so then it stopped recording my microphone audio. That's awkward. I'll show you how I sync on my audio. So let me just, well, I'm talking right now, so actually I can just sync it up. But usually I do a clap, and then it like syncs up, but I'm talking, so I'll be able to fix that in post. That's annoying. Anyway, yeah. I know this video is like really raw and there hasn't been any edit so far, and I know I'm wearing cat ears now, but I'm just really pissed off that I drank something that I didn't want to drink, and furthermore, I'm still really sleep deprived, and I've been streaming a lot the last couple of days, so it's kind of like this mix of like me being pissed off more than anything, and my body and soul being tired from the amount of streaming I've done the last couple of days, but it will be worth it. I did a marathon of every Black Ops 6 Zombies Easter egg, and I'm going to be making like individual videos out of each Easter egg for those that don't want to watch like a 6-hour video, and then I'm going to be making a compilation out of all those for a 6-hour video, and then I gotta go back and make a compilation of the Mario series yet, and a compilation of the Saints Row series. So there's a lot of compilations coming out here soon, but I love doing those just because, like, you know, sometimes, I don't know about y'all, but I'm the type of person where I'd rather watch one 7-hour video than 7 1-hour videos, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know, I just rather sit down and like I used to, not anymore, I don't know, I don't really watch much YouTube nowadays. The only YouTubers I watch are Double T Game Hustle, shout out to my brother, and like there's like a few other ones that I watch, right, that like make some gaming content. And honestly, I watch more VTubers than I do normal YouTubers nowadays, if I'm gonna be entirely honest. And yeah, so where was I going with this? Oh yeah, when I used to watch more YouTube content, I used to just love watching, y'all know those like retrospectives and essay videos on like movies, or, you know, like video games, or just like different topics or whatever, that range from like 20 minutes to like 8 hours, just, you know, because why not? Yeah, I used to love watching that stuff all the time. One of my favorites, Avalanche Reviews. If y'all haven't seen his content before, he's like one of the few creators that I actually have always enjoyed watching, because he's not just like, you know, one of those what the hell do you want to call it, hive mind creators, where, you know, he echoes like the same shit that everybody else says, and, you know, has like one brain cell with the rest of the internet that can't think for himself or whatever, you know, because I hate that shit. That's like how all the internet is nowadays. No, he's just like a pretty like down to earth dude, and he like I've talked to him before in his comment sections and shit, you know, he's a pretty laid back guy. He's pretty cool. But anyway, yeah, he makes like retrospectives. He did some on like Dead Space and like Resident Evil and like Silent Hill and shit. His videos are fucking awesome. He's like one of the other creators I enjoy. But yeah, like retrospective and like essay content, like that sort of. But anyway, yeah, beyond that, I don't know, man. Like I said, I was supposed to sit down to record like an hour ago, but then all that happened and I'm too pissed off to do anything else, because I could have sat here and recorded a normal video, but the energy wouldn't have been there, because now I'm pissed off, and it's like, okay, who do I blame? Do I blame the company? Do I blame the Florida sun? I think I blame a myriad of those things, because it was like 90 degrees on the day it was purchased. So you know what, fuck you, Florida sun. Florida's a really shitty place. Don't move to Florida. Florida's an awesome place to like visit every now and then and be like, oh man, I'm going to Florida. We're going to see the alligators and the palm trees and the never mind, I was about to make some really terrible jokes. I'm not even gonna say it. I don't need to deal with people's bullshit online today. Anyway, I do enough pissing people off on, you know, just for fun. Anyway, it's funny how many people I piss off. People get so pissed off because I speak my mind. It's like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I'm not a snowflake. I'm sorry that I don't censor every other word just to appease you. I just say what's on my mind, and if you have a problem with it, then I'm sorry. Go suck a dick. And that's just sort of how it is. But anyway, yeah, well, what the hell was I gonna say? No, yeah, Florida's like a cool place, like every now and then, I guess, if you want to visit, be like, oh, we're going to Disney World, or oh, we're going to see the alligators, or oh, we're gonna go swim with manatees or some shit. I did that once, like, years ago. It was way before I started this YouTube channel, obviously. I forget what year that would have been in, man. That was like somewhere between 2017 to 2019, but I can't remember which year exactly. That was fun though. Swam with manatees. But anyway, yeah, so you know, there's some cool stuff to do, but living here full time is just not it. There's 2 seasons here. There's summer and less summer. That is an unoriginal joke. I stole that from somebody else on a short, but seriously, it's true. Like, there's summer and then there's less summer, and either way, it all sucks. I can't say all the people here suck. People in the South can be a mix of either cool, stupid, or insufferable, and there's not much of an in-between, and sometimes there's a combination of all those things, where sometimes people can be cool or they can just be insufferable assholes. So, you know, that's also a thing. And people also drive like morons down here. They drive like, okay, so back home, or I used to live in Pennsylvania, there's this place called Hickory Falls, right? And I'm pretty sure it's, I don't know, is that like a place that's in other places of the, I don't think so. I think that's just like a one-stop place, like a one-location place. I don't know. I never know what places are just, you know, like one location and which ones are chains, you know what I mean? Like, I'm stupid. Like, for a while, I didn't know Zaxby's was a chain or whatever, restaurants or whatever, just because, like, I thought there was only, like, a few maybe down south, because I never saw them up north. And it's weird how, like, there's some restaurants up north and there's not some down south. It's like, I don't know, it's 2025, like, I don't know, just, like, set some more shops up at other places. I don't know, like, In-N-Out, for example. I don't think there's an In-N-Out near me. Not that I'd want to eat there anyway. Nothing against the food, but I don't know if I really want to talk into I don't know if I want to eat at a place where, like, the name is, like, a sexual innuendo, you know, I just, it makes me wonder what the special sauce on the burgers would be, and I don't know if I'm very comfortable with that. Anyway, So yeah, that's a whole thing. What the hell was I gonna say? Something about Zaxby. Oh, Hickory Falls. Yeah, like the people down here drive, like, if you've ever been to Hickory Falls, if you live in Pennsylvania or whatever and you've been there, you know how you got the adults to do it and it's like, okay, they can drive, or the teenagers that do it and it's like, okay, they can kind of drive, they're fine, like it is what it is. But then you got like those kids that are just trying to play like it's Mario Kart, but not like a proper match of Mario Kart where you're trying to win. No, like those Mario Kart players that are just like constantly ramming you, like, I'll never understand this. You got those people that play Mario Kart, and even if they have like a red shell or a blue shell ready to go, they just won't use it. Instead, they'd rather ram you and try to show their dominance, even though, like, IRL, you could literally just stomp them like a bug if you wanted to. So yeah, that's kind of how people down here drive. They kind of drive like it's Mario Kart, but they never use any items or anything. They're just trying to ram you off the road the entire time, and they're all kind of stupid, honestly. A lot of people in Florida are really stupid. It's funny because Florida is seen as being like, isn't this place called like the Sunny State or something? And it kind of is, but really Florida's just like a combination of rich assholes, poor crackheads, and the middle class struggling to survive. And yeah, there's a few in betweens here and there, but for the most part, everything just kind of sucks here. Florida kind of is a shitty place unless you're like right at the top or if you're surviving on the bottom. Yeah, I don't know. That's just kind of some lore about Florida. I don't know. Some people might disagree, but personally, I think the heat just does it for me. I think it's just one of those things where the heat, it gets so hot where it's like, okay, that's the cherry on top. Florida officially sucks. I hate heat. Heat is bad. Heat bad. I like cold. Well, I don't know. I don't actually like cold. Like, I don't want, like, Antarctica, where it's, like, you're, like, freezing your titties off the entire time. You're so, like, literally, when I say freezing my titties off, I mean, like, y'all know how, like, sometimes you'll be so cold that, like, your nips get so hard that it genuinely kind of hurts. Like, I hate that more than anything. And thankfully, that doesn't happen too often in Florida, but I will say, the colds in Florida are colder than they are in other places, depending on the temperature. Like, 30 degrees in Florida feels like 5 degrees in another place. And that's because, like, I mean, for me, anyway, I live close to Tampa, which is right near like the bay and the water and everything. And so when it's humid, oh my god, it's humid AF. But when it's cold, why did I censor myself? It's humid as fuck. And then when it's cold, it's cold as fuck because, like, all the water, like, really affects the temperature both ways. And it kind of sucks. Oh, wow, my stomach is, like, doing some weird things right now. I can feel it trying to digest a spoiled smoothie, and it doesn't like it. I don't know if it was necessarily spoiled, but it was definitely fermented. I'm still fucking pissed off about that, man. Fuck the Florida sun, dude. The Florida sun can go fuck itself right in its fucked face, dude. Anyway, yeah, so that's kind of how that is. I'm thinking I should just, like, buy, like, a portable, like, refrigerator or something, so then A, when I'm outside and it gets too hot, I can just, like, stick my head in it, but also B, anytime I have colds, I can just put it in there, because, knowing Florida, you could buy a gallon of milk, step outside, and all of a sudden it becomes, like, a clunky, chunky mess of nothingness. Oh, that's a fun story from my childhood. So one time I was at my grandmother's house, and I wanted to eat a bowl of, like honey wheat Cheerios, or honey nut Cheerios, Honey Nut AO, or mini wheats or something like that, and I poured some into a bowl, and then I grabbed the milk, and I was like, ooh, this milk looks a little funny, and, like, something just seems a little off here. And then I smelled it, and I was like, huh, wow, I didn't know they had egg flavored milk. And then I went to pour it, and it wasn't milk, actually. It was just chunks. It was white chunks, and that's basically it. I don't know how old the milk was. I hope nobody else in that household drank it. Maybe, like, I don't know. Like, I poured it. It was kind of green. Why was it green? Was it the Grinch's milk? I don't know. But anyway, yeah, so that made me a little uncomfortable. I mean, that's always the thing, when you're at your grandparents' house, you always have to look inside of the cupboards and make sure that the things you're eating are within date. I remember I used to go to my grandmother's house, and it's like, oh, sweetheart, you can make some toast. And then I, like, go and, like, grab the bread, and I'd be like, oh, this was bread? Because it's hard to tell now. And then you go inside of the cover and then check the Best Buy dates and everything like that. And it's like, oh, okay, so this expired before I was born. I'm gonna put this back, or maybe just put it in the trash just to save everybody's life here. And I'm not like, trying to diss anybody or anything like that, and I know there's like the whole conversation of like, oh, well, Best Buy dates aren't necessarily like, that representative of like when they're actually good by. Like me, for example, like bread, I constantly eat bread like 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks past the Best Buy date. As long as bread isn't moldy, it's fine. I'm not too picky about dates and shit like that. I mean, it depends. There's some things like meat. If meat's past the Best Buy date, I don't eat it, just because I'm like, all right, fuck that shit, dude. I ain't eating some rotten chicken cock, alright? Like, I'm good, bro. I'd rather just go eat something fresh, dog. I'd take my chances with a McDonald's fucking chicken nugget before I eat that expired-ass salmonella, expired chicken meat, I'm good, man. I ain't catching your diseases. I ain't catching your diseases. That sounds like a conversation I had with my last guy. Anyway, we're not. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah. So I'm kind of. Water. Water's another thing I'm picky with Best By dates about, because like like the plastic will like leach into the water after a while. Then you drink and you like taste the plastic. Speaking of which, I should probably drink some water here. I haven't drank any water since that smoothie. Oh man, I could like see my stomach's kind of empty right now because I haven't eaten a whole lot today. I had some like peanut butter Crafting Crunch. That's funny. Peanut butter Cap'n Crunch this morning. But that was like 5 hours ago or like 3 hours. I don't know. It's 8 a.m. How long have I been up? I forget. It doesn't matter. Anyway, so yeah, my stomach's kind of empty right now. So like when I drink water, bro, it literally just like it just hit my stomach. I like fasting. That's a really toxic trait of mine because obviously it like ties into my anorexia eating disorder and shit that I'm literally recovering from right now. But I love that feeling of being like fucking starving and then you like drink something and it's just like it just like surges through your body. It's like, whoa, we got fluids again. Yeah, so I love that feeling. I also love that feeling when you're like so hungry that you get like locked the fuck in. But at the same time, it's like it kind of sucks because then you're also like irritated as you're doing it. I don't know. Sorry. I think that's the smoothie coming back up. That's not good. Anyway, no, I'm fine. I feel fine. I feel better than I did when I started recording. So maybe it's starting to move through me a bit more because I'm starting to get that headache that you kind of get after you drink something like kind of fermented or boozy. Like, yeah, especially first thing in the morning, because I have a lot of experience with that. When I was boozing back in the day, I've told stories about this before, and, I don't say this because I'm proud of it, I just say it because it's the truth, but I remember there was this time where I was basically homeless for a couple of months. Me and my mom got into a really bad fight, and I was out just, like, running the streets with my one buddy, and I'd, like, stay at his house when I could, but his dad was, like, a fucking asshole, and he'd, like, kick me out at, like, 3 in the morning, even though this, in the town I lived in, there was, like, crackheads and, like, thieves and shit outside. Like, I remember my one buddy, his dad was staying at this place, and literally, like, inside of I don't even know how to explain it. It was sort of like in the center of town, and there was like this it wasn't even necessarily like an apartment, but it was just like, I don't know, its own thing. Anyway, my friend's dad was staying there. Not the same friend that I was talking about, the one that would kick me out. This other friend I'm talking about, his dad was actually really cool, but he got robbed at gunpoint inside of his own house. So, that was a whole thing. And apparently he was just staying chill the whole time. He's like, yeah, just take what you want. It's like, what else are you going to do in that town? That town was fucked. I'm kind of glad I got away from there. I miss the weather, and miss the vibe of the town, but I don't miss the people in the town. Oh, sorry, I got knots in my hair. I should probably grab a brush. But, brushes, you know what, fine, I'll go grab a brush. Give me a sec. But anyway, as I was saying, like, in this town, the weather was cool, the vibes of the town were cool, because it was very, like, 2000s in its vibes, right? Like, even by the time that I would have moved, oh, I got my lightsaber right here. I wasn't trying to grab my lightsaber, but I'll grab it anyway. But anyway, I moved back in, like, 2020, but I haven't really been outside there since 2019, because, well, at the beginning of 2020, I broke my ankle, and that was the whole fucking thing. Man, yeah, I got so many knots in my hair, it's kind of disgusting right now. But yeah, man, when you were in that town, it was just pure 2000s vibes. You got like graffiti all over the place. I remember there's this one library I used to go to all the time, and I remember me and my buddy, we would skateboard up there. And actually, this girl I was talking to for a while, it was like one of the last girls I had talked to. We never dated. This was after my last breakup, but we talked for like a little bit, I guess. Oh my god. I'd have to find my one old buddy's contact information to see if he'd ever be willing to talk on a stream, because he has some funny stories from that time that I know he'd love to tell on stream. I ain't talked to that dude in years, but it was just one of the people I used to run with back in the day. Shit was funny. Anyway, yeah, this library, I used to meet up with that one girl there, because we'd, like, skateboard around and shit, listen to loud music, but aside, and that library was actually right next to that place that I was talking about just a minute ago, where my friend's dad got robbed. It was, like, right there. The town wasn't that big. You could literally walk from one end of the town, to the other, within, like, 3 miles. Like, I used to walk, like, all over town, and it was just not a big deal. I even, like, took my skateboard and my bike and shit, and, like, rode up to, like, a completely different town at one point, with my one buddy. But anyway, yeah, that library there, they had so many cool, like, movies and comic books and just books in general, because I'm actually kind of a book nerd. I know people don't know that, but inside my closet, I have a lot of cool stuff in my closet, like tech and other stuff from just, like, when I was younger, but also a lot of books. Like, I have a giant bin full of books, And inside of it, you know, there's just like novels, comic books, there's a lot of superhero books and stuff like that. There's some books from my childhood, got a couple Bibles in there and stuff like that. My favorite Bible is my VeggieTales Bible that I had when I was a kid, because I grew up on VeggieTales, you know, because this is also a fact about me that isn't known very much, but I am a Christian. I know it probably doesn't seem like it with the way I talk, and, you know, I'm not going to pretend like I'm a perfect Christian or anything like that, right? Because there's a lot of people out there that have a superiority complex. I want to say they're perfect Christians, that, you know, this, that, and the other. And, you know, it's not that, how do I put this? Because I am very religious in the way that I live and in my beliefs and the way that I view the world. But it's like, I'm not religious in the sense that, you know that just from talking to me, I guess, in the way that I speak, or just like the topics that I talk about, or not even necessarily the topics, but it's like, you know, when you think of religious people, you think about the people that are talking about God 24/7, and that's just like, that's, you know, typically it doesn't come up for me in conversation. It's just part of how I live. But anyway, where the hell was I going with that? Oh, geez. I don't even remember. Something about religion. Yeah, I'm not really sure. I was saying something about the town and religion and all that, but yeah, I don't know. I do kind of miss that town. It was a cool place. And the place that I live at now definitely doesn't have anything on that. Like, it's still kind of cool, because if I go outside, which never happens, and I would walk like 20 minutes up the road, I mean, there's like every store I would ever want, literally just like a 20-minute walk away, aka like a 2-minute drive. There's like a GameStop, there's a Walmart, up the other way, there's like retro gaming, there's like a retro gaming store that I love, that I go to all the time. There's actually a viewer of the channel that lives somewhat close to me that I've talked to about it before, you know, it's an awesome place. And there's like another place near me that I made a video about before, that sells like a bunch of like nostalgic like toys and cards and games and consoles and stuff like that. And then there's like a Target up that way, I forget if I said that, and then over that way, like I was talking about before, like a Walmart, GameStop, movie theater, like literally everything. It's just like this long road that just has like every store you could ever want basically right there. But yeah, I don't know, man. I do kind of miss my hometown. I gotta figure out where I want to go one day, right? I've thought about maybe the Carolinas. I feel like it's a nice in-between between south and north, to where it's probably not too hot, but also not too cold, but I don't know. I'd have to double check that. I kind of just want a place where like the hottest it ever gets is like in the 80s, bro. Like, I don't know where that exists, but I also, like, I kind of want some snow in the winter, but I also, like, I don't know, man. I stay inside all the time now, so it doesn't even fucking matter. Like, I used to care, but nowadays, I don't care, man. I stay inside. I just want to live somewhere cool and nice and not, like, in Florida anymore. You know what I mean? I really want to go to Japan. That's kind of like my end game. I gotta save up a little bit for that. You know, I've had that conversation with my mom a lot of times before, where it's like, you know, Mom, I love you, but... you know, one day this birdie kind of has to spread its... Sorry, am I giving you guys, like, accidental ASMR right now? Welcome to Grotesque's ASMR. Today, we are going to be stroking this hairbrush. Anyway, no, we've had that conversation before, where it's like, you know, one day the birdie gotta spread its wings and leave the nest and whatnot, and she doesn't like having that conversation, but, you know, and by leave the nest, I mean leave the country. So, it is different. But, you know... that is my dream. I feel like that's where I'd be happiest. Just a fresh start, you know, just everything I've been through in my life, man. I just want a fresh start. Like, I don't know. I'm kind of conflicted. Like, I don't want to leave the U.S. really, because I do love the U.S. I love a lot of things about this country. I do believe it is one of the better countries on the earth. Obviously, I've never left the U.S., so I can't give an objective statement on that. But just from what I've seen, at least, and what I know, I feel like it's one of the better countries. And I feel like I would rather stay here, but at the same time, I do kind of want a fresh start. And I feel like really the only way for me to get the fresh start that I want would literally be to leave the country. And leave everything behind. Because life in America is awesome. I love America. I love the people here. I love the, you know, I love a lot of things about America and the culture here. And there's a lot of things that resonate with me about American culture. But, yeah, I don't know. I am just kind of chasing that fresh start one day. And I feel like that would be nice. It's almost like going to a different world. But, you know, not entirely. But I still gotta think about it. Maybe one day I'll, like, I don't know, go to some obscure spot in the States. Somewhere that still has access to really great internet and all the stuff that I'd want in great retro game stores. But, like, not, you know, somewhere that's not too busy. And then see where I'm at. You know, get, like, a nice house out in the woods or something that's, like, you know, a good bit amount of miles away from everything else. But still has access to really fast internet, like fiber internet and shit. And then I guess I'll kind of gauge where I'm at. Do a trip to Japan. I at least want to visit Japan. And then, you know, if I find that I like it, like, way more, then you know, I'd go there long term. I don't know. I gotta figure it out. Either way. I feel like if I can at least get that house out in the woods like I was talking about, that would at least be enough to keep me happy. But until then, that's just sort of it. This is your one and only ADHD riddled Asian nerd here, concluding this ramble session. I know this ramble session was really random and really raw, but man, I was really upset when I started recording this video because I fucking hate eating spoiled stuff or bad stuff or stuff that isn't what it should be. It just pisses me off so bad. I feel like for valid reasons, and I feel a little bit better now that I sat here for almost 30 minutes and rambled. ADHD is one hell of a mental condition, man. It's like, it's a curse in the way that I never shut up sometimes. I mean, I have good control in my mouth. If I want to shut up, I can, because honestly, I hate speaking. Like, verbally speaking kind of pisses me off, if I'm going to be honest. I hate the sound of my own voice. I hate speaking. But I do it anyway for content, and it's kind of funny because it's also like a blessing in the same way, because I just get infinite content out of it. Like, even if I have a little moment where my brain shits out, it's not actually my brain shitting out, like where I kind of stop and like make noises and like stare at something for a minute. That's just me trying to figure out, okay, I have 5 million thoughts in my head, which one do I actually want to say out loud? It makes sense. And then it's like, okay, and how do I put that into words again? Google Gaga. So yeah, I'm gonna shut up now. I've been talking for a long time. I might stream today. I'm pissed off, so I might stream. Streaming helps me with my anger because it's like, okay, if somebody's stupid in chat, I can just yell at them and it makes me feel better. And then it's also just like an outlet for me to just not shut up for 5 hours. And then it's great. So yeah, that's that. Oh, I think TikTok finally unbanned me for my multicast, so maybe I can do that again. I don't know why they did that. It was stupid. If you missed that story, sorry if you've been able to hear the hairbrush in the background. I can't help it. ADHD, go burr. I applied for multicast. They accepted it within 15 minutes, which was weird because it said it was supposed to take a few days. So I'm wondering if that has something to do with it. I did one multicast stream and then they suspended me from multicasting, but said I could still live stream on TikTok. Not sure why that happened. But anyway, so yeah, I might try multicasting again today because I have a series in mind that I think will be a lot of fun if it works. So we'll try it. Actually, I might do a test series before we do the full series. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, y'all shut up now. We'll roll the outro. We haven't had any edits in this video, had we? Have we? I don't think so. I think this is the first fully uncut grotesque video, like even for the outro. So we're going to keep that rolling. But anyway, as always, a massive shout out. Thank you to all the patrons and channel members. Thank you to all in the low baller tier, and an even bigger shout out. Thank you all in the big ball tier, the last king, MBT Animati, and the biggest shout out. Thank you to GT Round of Chicho. Thank you guys much. Guys, Little Legends. I love you. This happens a lot. I'm gonna do the outro and then I like stutter on either the part before that or like the first part of this, where it's like I get through like the first Japanese part fine, but then I'll start going like, I don't know, all tongue twisty on the last parts. I try to talk too fast. Have an amazing day, stay beautiful. I love you all. Don't drink expired food. Peace. What the hell is this video? I don't know. Peace.